Well, this has ended up being the most ridiculous grand finals I have cast in the Midweek Muster series. B? Wait, is he going all in? Oh my god. Okay, he's not going to the base though without wheelbarrow, right? Bruh. Are you kidding me? Okay, thank god. I was about to have a heart attack. He's going to white tower to secure the deer. Is B being overly ambitious? I guess maybe he's worried about Anatan's greed. In fairness to him, B, this is insane. He's got 5 relics off the back of all this. He's going to lose a lot of troops on the retreat, though. But you do have a giga-chatted white tower to protect all. Dive's going to come in. Anatan, this is the second time in a game where he's been forced to dive the white tower like this and lost military advantage. One and all, welcome back to the channel for the speed run of grand finals between B and Anatan. 2 of our games have been under 10 minutes. One of them was, I think, 6 minutes. At this point, I don't even know why we're predicting who's going to win. We might as well start predicting how long the game is going to be. This one is going to be a starting bloodbath, though. I actually don't like that they're both building Raxes. Because, guys, if they're both building Raxes, that means one of them could lose a unit early, and then GG. Japan makes a lot of sense to this. They love doing the Spearman opening because it's so cheap. Lancaster's been a bit of a surprise, but I think people are waking up to why Lancaster is a decent Dark Age rushing serve. They have a 20% increased food gathering rate on your base food at the start of the game. They gather from sheep quicker. Ergo, they can pump Spearmen more cleanly. Now, for Anatan, it does mean his opening's going to be a bit faster because the racks being so cheap gives you that value. But if this turns into like a long Dark Age, I don't think you're going to like it, Zano. Great laming. Straight away stops him. All right, I will say this. For all of B's ingenuity and how good he is at the game, I think people switching on and catching on to the deer shove meta has maybe hurt him more than almost any other player. B and Louis are probably the 2 most prolific deer shovers we've had in the last month or 2, which is surprising because historically I would say Wham and Puppy Ball. But in the most recent metas, they've been the kings of it. And B in particular has taken it to the truest extremes. I've seen players complaining in private discords about him being able to shove 2 deer stacks in before 7 minutes. And in fairness, high-level players' response was correct. They said, kill the deer. It is that simple. As Anatan is now showing. So mini-game played, deer denied. He has got the second one as a backup, but it's super far away. Nano will now just pull back to his side of the map, where B will have to come across and lame his deer as well. Because, you know, it's only fair that way. Would Holland Mongols be OP in team games? There's potential. It was one of the first things I theory crafted because, like, the thing is, the food gathering rate is pretty good. It's 20% increase. It used to be even better at 25%. And remember, sheep have the same base gathering rate as farms. So inflating it is pretty damn strong. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you're probably not doing Coca here. And that's good news for Anatan that he goes Kura anyway, because like you're in a situation now where you stop your opponent getting his extra food. And we're on a map, we already mentioned this, pretty bad for Lancaster. Guys, remember Lancaster is all about those mana spams. And on coastal cliffs, look how far away the stone spawns. And apparently sometimes in the berries. It's really hard to reach. That being said, if B notices it on his spawn, he got a really good spawn. Look how wallable it is. Yeah, this is super safe. There's even a world in which you don't even have to go Lancaster Castle. You can kind of just naturally wall this in. We'll likely see him still go Lancaster, because I don't really know if you want Abbey of Kings here. Your opponent has got back gold. If you want to go full feudal, Abbey of Kings makes sense. But if your idea is like to let both of you rush castle, then I think the lords suck a bit because of how good the Mount Samurai are. But Moment of Truth is approaching. B would do well to move across onto gold sometime this year. Seems he had a little bit of a wood issue, though. Going up to 9 Spearman tends to do that to you. And wait, is he going to turn this into an outpost rush? Because, like, there's potential. No, he's just going to idle the gold. Curry now on the way. Why use Hull instead of HRE? Because Hull doesn't get banned. Remember all that talk about how OP Hull was, and there's HRE still getting banned every single tournament, every single game? I mean, in fairness, they have been nerfed since then. I would honestly say, even if Lancaster hadn't been nerfed, I don't think they would have been a prior ban over HRE. Which is kind of surprising with how strong they are. Or definitely were. Okay, so B, are we just rushing castle? The macro here, man, it's almost like he's just prepping for a delayed castle rush, but Anatan is going to ruin that timing. Spearman, they move in. Nice reaction. Short bow straight away there. B does not skip a beat. He was so quick, they didn't even pull out the bows. They pretty much just shot metal chippings from their hammers. They struck that hammer so hard that it split air and split someone's head in two. Dangerous, boys. Wait, are we... Wait, so you lame my deer, so I take your deer? And this, folks, is exactly what I was talking about with B. These aren't his deer. He took these from Anatan's side. Lancaster castle on the ford. This is crazy. 10 had to come out to do this, but it's going to work because short bows. Okay, so he secures ford gold. He still doesn't have stone. I can't. This is just like... We hyped the fact that people caught on to what B's doing and they've done a better job of countering it. So what does B do? You know, what do most people do when the ideas get counted out? They change them. They find a new idea. B's like, you just haven't gone far enough. They lamed my deer. But they didn't lame their deer. Oh, this is brilliant. Almost all pros are putting Hull into A or B tier. I see how they can kind of break the game. You mentioned how OP they are. I don't call them OP. That's incorrect. What I've said is I think they need to be changed because it's not a fun style. Mana spam is the most oppressively boring playstyle I think that exists in AoE4 right now. That's the problem. It's not that they are OP. It's that the playstyle that they force upon players is honestly more dull than 2TC meta. Like, this is an RTS. If you want to play a building game, like if you want to play a city builder, like SimCity exists. So yeah, my whole issue with the manners, like I've always highlighted this. I think Lancaster is actually a really well-crafted civ outside of the economy. Hobblars are uniquely interesting. Yeomen are uniquely interesting. Earl's Guard uniquely interesting. They actually have a really robust lineup. I don't think they have an OP lineup. They have some strategies that can feel OP. But at the heart of it, they always end up feeling OP because of what manners do to the game. And I also think that, like, you'd think that this type of civ would be very good for casual players because, oh, yeah, you know, like, you just build your city and it's chill and we fight in the late game. I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's very toxic for casual players. Because if you try to attack them, like, we see it constantly. Pro-level players don't know how to kill them. Right? Or struggle to kill them. So what happens to a casual by comparison? What's easy to do? Execute against a mana build or build the mana build. Right? Like, in games, in competitive games in particular, difficulty of execution needs to equal reward reasonably. And mana spam is so easy to do and so hard to punish. And it rewards you so much. Nice dive in, by the way. I love that Anatan went for Yuumi. The problem with B here is, like, this is a fake-out Lancaster castle. We do now have castle just around the corner. This should be White Tower. B was contemplating hobbies, but you just see how underwhelming they can be. I think if you wanted to do Hobbler here, he would have been stuck in Feudal Age, and that just kills your game. Yeah, I hope that explains things a little bit. Because, like, I think that's being read out of context. I think I've said the only thing I've talked about making them OP is Muster the Nobles. And it's made OP because of the mana mechanics. You scale economy, the trade-off is meant to be you can't just have military. But with mana spam into Muster the Nobles, you get both. Like, at the heart of it, the manas and this landmark are the things that I think make Lancaster's inclusion in the game a negative. And it's sad because everything else about the Civ, I think, is incredibly cool. And no, I disagree. Yeomen are not OP. Yeomen are finally balanced now. Like, people who are molding still about Yeomen just don't like moving units at this stage. It's the most expensive archer in the game, bar Gilded Archers. And B? Wait, is he going all in? Oh my god. Okay, he's not going to the base, though, without wheelbarrow, right? Bruh. Are you kidding me? Okay, thank god. I was about to have a heart attack. He's going to white tower to secure the deer. So this is an interesting one. Anatan is actually not too far off his own castle timing. And Ulfsgard into Japan's a bit weird, no? Because your opponent can just spam Mount Samurai. Deflective armor mitigates a lot of your range damage. He's definitely going for a timing attack, but Anatan, it feels like he's been onto it from step number 1. And makes sense considering Anatan just executed a similar build against Wham earlier today. So white tower goes up. Flurry of arrows should mop up the army, so an easy clean for him. And he does now have ball secure. And yeah, remember, there might be other elements in AoE4 a little bit like Muster. But if you think about it, almost all those elements that have existed in the game have been considered OP at some point. Gremlins from the Kremlin. Desert Raider timing for Ibid. And they all got nerfed. But this one, like the Muster the Nobles one, is in some ways the most powerful form we've had. Yeah, I think that covers everything. Let me know if there's any more queries. I'm happy to explore it. Yeah, and this isn't just like... I think we always try to aim that we're not balanced whiners, right? Like, we try to give criticisms and solutions, and we've given multiple solution manners. And we also have, like, a unique understanding compared to most, because we were... Like, we studied game design. We were a game developer. We are a commentator. Like, I get the POVs on multiple sides. But the daggers have arrived. This is so tilting when you have villagers. Free Earl's Guard can insta-kill a villager. That number's important. Because that's the exact number you start with White Tower. That's why the concept of this rush is meant to be one of the dirtiest that exists in Age of Empires 4. If you get this tech up at 8 minutes, at 8 minutes in the game you have... what does that end up being? My brain right now is switched off. Isn't it like 30 villagers or something? It's not that much. So, comes in with a sniper every 15 seconds at such a critical point, and you don't have an answer. Like, it's easy to see how many people could just die to this build. And there we go. Dagger thrown. 15 seconds until he gets another. Reminder, these Earl's Guard move quicker than standard men-at-arms. Oh, sure. Like, I get that most people agree with me. I just, like, I don't like it when the words get twisted out of place. Like, I try to avoid using the true term OP a lot. And, well, this is not a good start for that samurai. I think the Earl's Guard count may be a bit too high. He's got 10 already! Like, this is the deer. This is the deer in the boar. It's ridiculous. He's got so much food to pump. It doesn't look like it. But in terms of raw military power, yes. And remember, when you try to run away, watch what happens now. Because if he just pulls back a little bit, he's going to start hurling daggers to finish him off. For the coup de grâce. Okay, so I know this hasn't worked out. We've got to switch. Onimusha. So guys, like, Onimusha would beat Earl's Guard, right? Like, surely. Like, yeah, I mean, it does bonus against heavy. So, of course, it would just beat an Earl's Guard. Surely. This 5.5 tower range unit is definitely not going to die to these 6.5 tower range daggers before it reaches them, right? That would be silly. B, would you like to present Exhibit A? I'm a bit... Oh, he's... There, oh, no. He's not actually tossing him. Here we go. All right. Mission secure, boys. Let's bring it home. Oh, my God. And reminder, by the time you reach him again, he's reloaded. He can toss another dagger. So this is the thing. I think this is why Earl's Guard, it wasn't on people's radar as early as you would have thought. It's really micro-intensive. Like, this Earl's Guard build might be the most micro-intensive opening for Castle Age I can think of off the top of my head. Let me know if you can think of a more intensive one, but I think this is the one. Because you have to specifically target units time and time again. Where do they keep the daggers? In their boots. You always keep daggers in your boots. Have you guys ever considered that they're just like wearing all this armor and they're just ripping off pieces of it and throwing fragments? Look, it's either they keep it in their boots, they've got an infinite bag of holding, or in their butts. It's your choice though. It's one of the three. So things are slowed down a bit. You'd think the B would switch. Because now that you've seen the Onimusha, Yeomen have to be sounding pretty damn good. But instead, it's greed. This is pretty crafty, actually, by B. Your opponent just went for squishy glass cannons. So if you start spamming manas around a Lancaster castle, you can't dive it. Is dagger throw something you have to micro where Donzo's auto throw? Donzo's, it's like Donzo's, but the problem is you want to micro it. Because it's very high damage, and you want to make sure you're targeting the right thing. So if he didn't micro it, in that fight, he'd be throwing 10 daggers at 17 a pop at a Yumi. And a Yumi has 65 HP. But that many daggers would do 170 damage. So you really want to map it out and maximize it. So for example, when you fight Onimusha here, they have 80 HP. So you want to use 5 of these guys to dagger throw, preferably. That's how you maximize DPS. Is dagger butting a normal English thing? Just ask me after a few drinks. You guys don't sub enough to this channel to get answers to those questions. Dagger help. Is B being overly ambitious? I guess maybe he's worried about Anatan's greed. In fairness to him, B, this is insane. He's got 5 relics off the back of all this. He's going to lose a lot of troops on the retreat, though. He may need Spearman. He hasn't got enough manas to use the get out of jail free cards. That's the funny thing about this game. Like, you don't just have that cheat sheet of Lancaster Castle to save you. But you do have a giga-chatted white tower to protect all. Dive's going to come in. Now, he could actually just snipe the Onimusha as a priority and then use the Earl's Guard against the Mount Samurai. I think that's the goal here as well. Yeah, sniping him down. Anatan, this is the second time in a game where he's been forced to dive the white tower like this and lost military advantage. Is it going to happen again, or is he going to have enough to ripple through? It looks like he is actually breaking that line a bit. He needs to go deeper, though. It's the economy he now needs to strike at. Samurai are rotating. He has found him on the tree line. Shortbows is ambitious here. You're only doing 1 damage. And B, where the hell are the Earl's Guard? Oh my god, they were still garrisoned inside. He didn't pull them out. Anatan just bypasses the army. Eco's shrinking fast. Now, B isn't likely to just GG straight away. Remember, he's got 5 relics and manas now. He's so confident this game is not over. He's going for the level 2 unlock to get 9 manas when he only has 3. What is this game? This is freaking incredible. And okay, that's just a preview. He's like, Anna, I just want you to know I've got a lot of economy. So if you thought that was going to make me wave the white flag, thank you, come again. Triple mana added in. Anna has a problem here as well. Long term, his food isn't resolved, but B's kind of is just with the manas. I mean, it's 60 food per mana. It's almost 600 you're getting from that alone. The Kura Storehouse is not really going to compete. You gonna say, why ever build white tower when you have college? Exactly. I'll hold my hands up. Behind closed doors, like I said to the dev team, I'm like, I think maybe white tower needs a bit more uniqueness about it. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't my point. I was like, white tower feels like a bit of a gimmick. And I guess this fits the gimmick idea. Like, you either build it like this or you build it to defend yourself. And my feedback is I felt that Hobbler's unique tech in King's College should be accessible in Imperial if you don't go King's College. I still stand by that. I definitely don't think that white tower is weak. It's situational, though. These tagger throws, I swear. And I like these blocking stone as if he has to care. Like B already has maximum manners. Oh my god. I think he just bought his way. It makes sense. He's got so much gold income per minute. He can afford to just buy his way up, right? He's got 400 gold income passively. Alright, ones if you think B's going to win this game. Twos you think Anatan is. Because like the weird part is that B hasn't transitioned still. It's just raw Earl's Guard. We do at least have a Euroshiro drop for Anno, so it's a scaling villager lead. But we've got a switch on the way. And it's a big one. Oh my god, B is such a noob. Why is he upgrading to veteran yeoman? He doesn't have any yeoman. It's a fair point, chat. Like, you got me on that one. I mean, you know, why would you upgrade veterancy on yeoman before starting to produce an army so you had it to use? Like, that's silly. He only has double archery range as well. Why aren't you producing it? Oh, that's right. We've got a button. Shire Levy, baby. 17 yeoman at the single press of W. And there's a reason we put it on there, because it's the win key. Actually, that's really what Muster Noble should be. Yeah, everyone's been saying maybe they could rebalance this so they move Demi Lancers to Castle Age instead. But then, guys, it really would be on the W key. And we've called that ability the win key so often. Probably won't see the Demi Lancers this game unless he's in panic mode. Yeomen are starting to be produced. Veterancy's coming for Spears as well. Makes sense. Like, Spears actually do pretty well against this comp, considering Onimusha aren't a good counter to Spears. You guys ever realize that because this is a civ that is a DLC civ that you have to pay for, we can legitimately call these buttons in the Lancaster castle the pay to win button? Just food for thought. Don't want to start a riot, but while the siege is beginning, it would be a shame if we could just repair this with wood. And that it also pays for itself because it generates wood. I always find these type of interactions a bit ironic. He'll eventually have enough trebs that he will break through, though. Oh, look. There it is. One more arriving, so this should be enough to start blitzing through these. So B's going to need to square up soon, but look at the military power, man. Where did this army come from? All of a sudden, 23 spears, 27 Earl's Guard, and crossbows also following up. And march forward. Only 3 Springolds. Not a crazy count, per se. Especially against spears, you can't really body block them long. He's going to have to. Spreads the line. We are going to break off to deal with the outpost. Well, Samurai count is still looking decent for the moment, but wave after wave is on the way, and crossbows are coming in for the kill secure to the low HPers. And I love that. Yeoman just goes straight after the Springolds, so that's going to be the anti-infantry bulk removed. However, the mounted samurai chow on in and jump that back line. And it looks like such a good fight right now for Anatan, but remember, there's still a military difference that's going to be hard to overcome as this continues. He's scaling into a notable villager lead. So if you can take another fight or two like this, it's going to feel good. But this was kind of like a prelude of how easy it is for B to just keep lobbing bio. Meanwhile, Anatan, his ability to remax on these mounted samurai is going to be limited, remember. Not got many farms. He's exhausted most of the finite resources. Another interesting thing, actually, like, I don't know if he realized that you could have just used the Earl's Guard daggers to try and snipe some springs at the start there. Because it's low-ranged armor. Like, that's why Lombo is usually a good solution to these things. Is Anatan a bit too hard into siege? It feels like it a bit. Can the Mount Samurai clear up? Looks like they're going to get rid of that front line again. They'll jump onto the crossbows. Yeah, and B, he did waste a lot of time actually sniping the siege there. It's a good fight. You would not think we're 25 minutes into the game of how small these armies are feeling. Treb pressure is adding up. Manners are starting to crumble. And credit to him, that's the most important thing. Anatan was able to keep those fights going while the Trebs were active. So all of a sudden, this idea of like, B's going to outmass me isn't as big of a fear anymore. Double Sacred Sight also locked in. Is B running out of steam? It actually feels like he's falling behind a bit here. The spell hits. Just so much DPS. Villager brought out to repair. Yeoman are going to go for the snipe now. So his thought process here is if you can get the wipe, then spear crossbows can just carry the rest of the engagement. But he's running out of space. Forced to retreat here. The Mountain Samurai keep munching forward. Krebs are getting through this nicely. There's going to be another mana going down. That's 4 dead. The weird thing here is like Anatan is actually now benefiting from the state of things. We talked about food being a problem, but he's realized he doesn't need it anymore. B's not blobbing as hard as he was about 2 or 3 minutes ago. The army looks pathetically small, and that gets doubly bad against Mounted Samurai. Mounted Samurai are a unit that feeds and thrives on trickle armies. One by one they go, and one by one they die. Guys, I think he's done it. B looks just hard stuck now. I mean, Hobolars would go a long way here if they didn't suck so badly. You need a lot of Hobolars to break through this. Because if you had Hobolars with the hill training, you'd just be able to snipe the Springles in 2 hits. This is looking rough now. It's going to go in with the crossbows. Gets another one of those Springle kills. It's just a lack of front line, though. Damn. Anatan beating B with his favorite unit of 2024, the Springolds. Earl's going to hit the deck after moving to new monasteries. He has been building more of the manners back up behind this, but it's pretty much just lose the investment, reinvest, lose it again at a rate where you're not really seeing value. And remember, his ability to rebuild is limited with the stone now being exhausted. Only 400 left there. Guys, can you see what the difference was where Anno started winning fights? It's when he took on the crap castle instead of the good castle. Every time B has taken an edge, it started with this white tower. But ever since he's avoided going near that, Anatan's position is getting better and better. Play out onto the board now. Really is going to try to min-max this map, but also the farms. Where is he getting the room on the economy for this? Actually going to come in again. Yumi can start sniping out those crossbows quite easily. And that's going to enable the Mounted Samurai to exist for longer. Trebuchets are now looking onto the Lancaster castle itself. B, not able to stand here much longer. It looks like he's going to break again, and this just might be the one that breaks his back. Yeah, no doubt about it. The Trebs are in position now to snipe everything that matters to you. You can go for the Lancaster castle into the White Tower, and then it's just a dive. Like, at this stage, if Anatan really wants, he can send the Mounted Samurai in. He obviously doesn't know just how good the position is in terms of there being no spears. I think he's about to realize. Damn, props to Anatan on this one. This was elegantly executed. I think the cool thing between these two, we've actually seen it twice now in this series. These are probably 2 of the best examples in 2025 we've had of just how good Springolds are. A meme unit when they first got reintroduced, no longer anti-siege, but now truly thriving in their role as anti-blob. White Horseman? Your opponent's building Yeoman crossbow. It's just more bodies in the fights. Like, if your opponent's going to build crossbows, you build Mount Samurai, you're kind of carrying yourself. And also, I think he's running out of gold fast. So he's just trying to be lean. He's set up the food, but the gold's running out in a game where your opponent did get 5 relics. It makes sense. Here we go. White Tower evaporated. I think B's a matter of moments away from a GG now. Yeah, it's not even about the raw number here. It's this number. The 6 Springles are worth all the Yumi and more. It's just stopping him from mounting an Earl's Guard or a Spearman Defense, which means he has no answer then to the few mounted Samurai. Mad Samurai, they're now going to munch down for the final time this game. GG gets called. Anatan will extend his lead. One of the best executions of mid-game Japanese I think I've seen. Yeah, this game was wild. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. This was a very unorthodox game from both players. Props to him as well. I think you guys are starting to see the interesting dynamics that Lancaster has available. But I think also what's even more encouraging is Japan's answers to some of those problems.